Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tidus Talk, episode 21, with our special guest, Roszipou. Rosie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. So, for those joining us today for the first time, this is an interview podcast series where I find other content creators, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, or otherwise. We get to know them a little better, learn about their channel, get to know them a little bit more, their personal life too, as much as they're willing to share. We talk about game news and stuff like that, and we go from there. So, yeah, thank you for joining me today. Again, anybody who's here, exclamation point raffle in the chat, who's here live can get a free sub to Rosie's channel. And I'd like to start off by saying how I was introduced to you. Now, that being said, I'm not sure if it was through where I met you through. It was probably through a raid of some sort, but I don't know who it would have been through. Can you remember?
Probably Crystal or Hyrule Gaming Group for sure.
I don't think it was I think I knew you
Um,
pre HGG. I think so. I could be wrong.
yeah,
So it was either Crystal. It was
because
probably
I met
Crystal.
because I met Hyrule Gaming Group through Crystal. So either Crystal or him for sure.
And well, actually, that being said, we knew you before you were streaming because you actually haven't been streaming too terribly long, right?
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so we knew
For
you.
about 7 months maybe.
Yeah, so I would I this is actually pretty new because I usually meet other content creators through their channels, but we actually met you just in Twitch chat. Where you'd always talk, and we talk about your art, and you do some things there. So it's actually a little different than most. So one of my favorite things about your channel now that you do stream is the overall positivity that you bring to it. Just like a lot of the people who come on here, you're very positive. You throw trolls to the wayside and don't let it ruin your day. And your community is awesome as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
For anybody who doesn't know who you are, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
All right. So, hi, my name is Roszipou. I am French Canadian, so I do live in Canada. My first language is French, but I think my English is okay. And I am a illustrator and a comic artist. I just received my undergraduate in comics arts like sometime last week, maybe. And yeah, I make little doodles and I try to have fun playing video games. That's pretty much it, I think. I'm married. I have two cats. Uh, I'm happy. I don't know.
No, you're good. So the quick question. So your bachelor's is it officially in comic arts? Is that's what it is? It's a bachelor degree in comic arts.
Yes, so the official title, if I should say, is art and design with a comic book concentration.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of like complicated to like explain a little bit, but basically, you will find a lot of like certificate and like any type of like paper or like courses about comics, but the course that I like went into is really a bachelor degree, and it's the only one that is like available in North America, and it's taught in French. So.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, no, I
Mhm.
completely get it because I know, like, for example, my wife has a degree in marketing, but you can specialize in like social media marketing or big business marketing and stuff like that. So I get you get the little distinctions there.
Mhm.
All right. So one more time before we move on, we'll take this opportunity to let you guys know if you want a chance at a gift sub to Rosie's channel. She's got some amazing emotes. She does emotes for other people, so you have to imagine that hers are amazing. Uh, exclamation point raffle in the chat. We'll get you an opportunity, and we'll do the raffle at the end. And also ask any questions you feel like in chat, and we'll try to work them in if they fit. We'll call them out. So, with that being said, we will get started with the questions. So, first, how long have you been gaming? Is it your whole life? Is it more of a last couple years thing?
Mm, I would say since I'm the age. of understanding video games, if it makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Um, yeah, so since I am able to like have a Game Boy in my hand, I've been gaming. The first game that I tried was Pokemon Yellow, and it was actually my neighbors. They had the game and the Game Boy, and they knew that I really liked Pokemon because I was watching the anime and I really like Pikachu, and I had like a dozen and million plushies of Pikachus. So they thought that maybe it would be a good idea to let me the Game Boy with the game, and it's actually very funny because I play this game so much and I just like enjoy the fact that you could like turn around and talk to Pikachu. And I remember clearly that you know, like in the first Pokemon game, you need to enter like the Pokemon Mart to have like a Pokédex, and then you can like trespass Viridian City.
Right.
I was stuck there and I didn't know what to do, so I grind my Pikachu until like level 25 or like 30. And I think I played this game for like maybe 2 months before discovering that I had to enter the Pokemon
Oh, wow.
to go there, but it's mostly because I didn't understand English and my game was in English,
Uh,
so I didn't know what to do. So that that's the thing too. But it's just to like to express how much I love Pokemon, and it is my favorite video game franchise.
well, that goes into the next question. What are some of your favorite games and genres of games?
um, for the most part of my life, I was like only like focused into like Pokemon and like Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing. And more recently, I guess I'm more into like RPGs in general. So Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, hmm, I'm missing one, but I don't remember. But those kinds of game, really chill game, and you know that kind of stuff.
All right. What are
Oh,
some
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom?
Oh,
Like, how can I forget?
how can I forget? Oh my god.
What are some of your fondest
Oh,
gaming memories?
what?
What are some of your fondest gaming memories?
Mm, I would say the little story that I said about like, uh,
The
you know,
Pokemon.
wandering around Viridian City and don't know what the F I'm doing and like just grinding with Pikachu because I just love Pikachu, you know.
You must have tore through that rest of that game pretty easily with that, with Pikachu
Yeah,
being.
yeah, pretty much. It was kind of easy, but you know, I had in mind that I didn't totally understand that I could have like different Pokemon than Ash. So I basically had like I never evolved like my Bulbasaur, my Charmander, my Squirtle. So it got uh, it was pretty hard like to go through the end of the game, and I don't think I ever finished it because after that I got my own Game Boy Advance and I had Fire Red and Leaf Green. So after that, I received those games. I was like, this looks much better. I
Yeah.
think I'm going to play with those instead.
So then, just out of curiosity, so when Let's Go came out, what did you think of that? Since you had like Pikachu riding on your shoulder and stuff like that.
It was really overwhelming. I was like a very like imaginative kid um back in those days. And you know, I had like all my plushies, I had like my Game Boy with my Pokemon Yellow game. And when Let's Go came out, I was with my husband when I got the game and I just like start crying because it was like just I felt like I was connected with like all those childhood memories that I had in my head, if it makes sense.
No, yeah, I get you.
So it was very overwhelming and like I was crying about like everything. Like when it was first like my Pikachu was first starting following me, then he jumped onto my shoulders and then he gave me a gift and like I'm really connected to my feelings, I should say. So I cry for anything. So
Why can't this be
although
real
you know,
life?
yeah, exactly, exactly. But even though it's not real life, it was like, oh my God, all those things that I had in my head came true.
Right. They're now on the
Like,
screen. There's just like,
y- yeah, exactly. Because I always dreamt like to have like this connection with like this type of like creature when I was younger, and I was watching like the anime, and I was like, oh my God, why is it not real? So it really felt like that. It really felt like I was closer to my childhood memories.
oh,
So yeah,
right.
Red.
Red
I
Arrow.
said Pikachu.
Yes, someone said Pikachu, and there's all the emotes. Uh, what upcoming games are you looking forward to the most?
mm, More recently, I'm really looking forward Super Mario 3D All Stars. I didn't really believe the rumors, so when they dropped the direct and it was announced, I was like, you know what? I don't really like Mario games, but I feel the hype. So I pre-ordered the games yesterday, and fun fact, I never played Super Mario 64. So I thought that it was like worth the price for getting, you know, this package of games.
Oh, I'm not surprised you haven't
Yeah.
played 64. You're a spring chicken, basically. You're pretty young.
Yeah, but it's mostly because, when I was young, it was like the 64 era, but I never had a 64. It was like my dream console. So when I was able like to finally buy my own 64, I think I was like 12 years old.
Oh,
And so it's been a while since like the GameCube was released, and I think if I remember correctly, it was like in 2006. So the Wii just came out.
oh yeah. So that was like two
And
generations behind.
yeah, so N64 games are really pricey, you know.
Did you not play? Because Mario 64 actually came out on the DS as well. Did you never play?
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I'm really not into like Mario games in general.
Gotcha.
And I think I said it like a couple of times straight, but if you want to hear me swear and being angry at something, make me play Mario. I hate platformers. It's like my worst enemy. I just don't like the fact that you need to be like screen perfect or like to make like a specific jump to go through somewhere, and it frustrates me so freaking much.
Oh, so you must not play Fall Guys.
No, I don't think it will be my type of game with like
No.
all the trolls and like the cheaters recently. No, I'm not into it. If you're cheating in our party game, yeah, I'm gonna stop here.
Okay. Uh, all right. So we'll start going with the Twitch stuff. So what games are you currently playing both on and off stream?
All right. Okay. On stream, I'm playing Animal Crossing New Horizon, but I'm also playing off stream because it's like my personal island and everything. I play also Pokemon Shield sometimes. I'm doing like some competitive breeding more recently. So I'm basically trying to get the perfect Pokemon to maybe try the competitive scene of Pokemon. I most recently just finished a Nuzlocke playthrough of Pokemon Earth Gold. Um, what else? Oh, we've been playing a little bit of Story Season Friends of Mineral Town. And off stream, I just finished Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ooh, nice. What'd you think?
I never played the original,
Ah,
and I was really confused. And it's kind of funny because I start playing the original and I'm like, I'm confused. Those dialogues doesn't make any sense. What I'm looking at, like, what are those like Lego stick figures? I don't understand. But of course, like this game didn't really age well. But I I like the story, but I don't know. I never got into it, so I decided to give the remake a chance, and I like how heavy the remake was. Like, I would say that I love the game, but at the last chapter, they lost me at all. Like,
Yeah, well,
I I don't know what to say without like saying
no,
any kind of spoilers or anything, but there's something that is like really confusing. And then when I finished it yesterday, actually, one of my good friends talked to me, and he was like, "Yeah, the reason why you don't understand it is because the thing is happening is was like kind of like the response to from Square Enix to the fan that, oh, you're not gonna get like a faithful remake or something." And I was like, okay, this is too much for my head. So I decided to start the original and to give it a chance again.
uh,
So I've been playing that, and that's pretty much it.
well, you'll
I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy VII right now.
well, you're probably confused because that whole last thing in the new game didn't happen in the original, so
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
that it doesn't make sense because it wasn't initially in. But you'll find that out when you play.
Yeah, exactly. So they just told me if you play the original, you understand, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it. So I boot it up again. I start a new save file, and I just got into the same place where the remake ended, and I'm like, oh my god, that was so fast.
Oh yeah, and
Like
they
I can't believe that, there's this cake called Final Fantasy VII, and then they were like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna pick this strawberry of the cake, and like I'm gonna get like every small grain of it, and I'm gonna make a game based of like those little pieces of strawberry. I think it's amazing that they were able like to put like so much lore and so much like details into everything, but it's crazy that in the original it's like maybe 10% of the game.
yeah, it's not even the first disc.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just really confused in general, so I can't wait to finish the original.
Yeah, I
And I'm
mentioned.
really looking forward to it.
Good. You'll have to tell me what you think because I've played the original back when it came out because I'm an oldie. Uh, so you'll have to let me know what you
Hmm.
think.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. There's some people as well who are waiting for my opinion on it, and you were on the list from the start.
do you uh, do,
I know you really like Final Fantasy in general.
do you know are how much of the story do you know? Like, there's some big things that you may already know because it's kind of like out there about
Yeah. Um,
certain things that happen
okay,
to
I
certain
have another
characters.
story. I
Okay.
have another story.
Okay.
I was watching this series on Netflix called High Score. It's like a documentary series about like the history of video games, and there were an episode just for like the RPGs. And of course, they had to talk about Final Fantasy. And during one of the interviews, they decided to play like a sequence of like a different Final Fantasy game, and they put up this scene that I never saw before, and I was like, I want a bad word right now, but I won't say it. But I did said some bad words, and I was like, I can't believe that from all the cutscenes of this game, the cutscene that you had to put in your little montage has to be this one.
I think
So
I
I
have an
know,
idea of what it is, but
yeah, yeah, someone being canceled.
okay. Yeah.
Like, yeah. I don't want to say it because I still believe that there are some people out here who still haven't played the game and who are probably like me, were able to flee from all the spoilers from all this time.
Right.
But yeah, I got spoiled by watching
A
a
documentary.
documentary, and I'm really pissed about it. But
Uh,
at some point, I'm like, it's fine. The Like, I was 1 year old when the game was released. At this point, I should have known, so it's okay. But I don't know.
all right. So this
Sorry,
is,
we
I
went
think,
a little bit off track.
no, you're good. It's a discussion, so it fluctuates. So
Okay.
I think this one's an easier one. So how'd you go about choosing your Twitch name?
It's actually a nickname that my parent gave me. So yeah, there's like no further explanation. Uh, my
Well,
first language is not English, so it doesn't sound weird to my ears. So I went with it and I stick with it, and it's just like when I started streaming that people were like, huh, "There's poop at the end of your name," and I'm
what?
like, ugh. But you know what? I embraced it, and it's if you're here like to bully me for like a nickname that my parent decided to give me because they love me a lot, and that's like in the other language, I can't do much about it. So, and everyone calls me Rosie, everyone calls me Roszipou. It's like it's normal for me.
Yeah. All right. So what drew you to streaming? Why did you make the decision to stream?
Because people came after me and they were like, you know what? You're funny. Why don't you stream? And I'm like,
People on
I
Twitch or
don't
people
know.
in real life?
Yeah, people on Twitch.
They were just, hey, you should stream.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And
hey,
you were
why are
like,
you not doing it? And
okay.
I'm like, I don't know. I really have this really strange relationship with Twitch because it first started with my husband, because he likes Twitch a lot. Sometimes he's watching like three or two streams at the same time, and I think that the first stream that I ever watched was Renee, and I think it was during Christmas vacation. I didn't know what to do. Renee wasn't live, so I just decided to go over the Animal Crossing, category, and that's how I found about Crystal. And then I got into her community, and then she rated HEG, and then I was watching HEG, and then it never stopped. And I'm a big lurker, but a lot of the time, I was talking with them because I had nothing pretty much to do, and that's how I got involved into the community. And then people started to like being interested in my heart, and then I opened commission, and then you commissioned me the first, and then it just like never stopped. And then someone just I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Stretcherry or Red or Pepper. I don't remember who talked about it first, but I remember that one of them were like, "Hey, why don't you stream? You're funny." And I'm like, "Yeah, why am I not streaming? I don't know." And then I made a lot of research, and then I figured out that Twitch actually brought me my first commissions. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try Twitch. And I always approach Twitch as if it was like a big PR game, I'm here
Right.
to make connections, I'm here to promote my art. I'm not here to, make money out of it. I just want to have fun. I just want to showcase my art. I just want to make people laugh. I just want to make them, you know, have a little break. Oh, have a little break during their busy life, just like Crystal and Josh and a bunch of other streamers did for me. So yeah, that's how I came to Twitch. And my husband was like really really supportive. I didn't like know for sure, but then he was like, "Yeah, stream. You're gonna like it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll try."
And see, and I think that's the thing. It's like I think anybody who's even semi-interested should try it because it's easy enough to stop if you don't like it or if you have bad experiences. Give it a shot. See if you like it. All right. So to go along with that question, what do you like best about streaming?
Everything?
Everything.
I don't know. What? Why do I like streaming? That is actually a nice question. I don't know, I just do. I guess the same reason why people like to watch people on Twitch. I guess I like talking with people. Yeah, man, I don't know. like like I said, for me it's like a very big like PR game. So I'm here to make connections, and it just happened that I made a ton of friends. So at this point, I'm going live to talk with my friends.
Gotcha. So community for one.
Hmm.
All right. So then, well, that makes this other part. I don't know if it makes it more difficult because the other side of that. So, what do you dislike most about streaming?
What do I dislike about streaming? Um, I guess that I just don't like you know, the usual bad stuff around Twitch in general, I guess. Like, of course I don't like putting some salt into my streams because someone decided to came after me and be like, "Oh, you have interesting teeth. Do you want to like do I remember that someone came into my chat and like, "Do you want my mattress so you can like floss your teeth with it?" And I'm like,
What?
"What? Huh? Like, don't you like okay, have a good day. Hello."
Hello. Goodbye.
Like this side of Twitch that I don't have control
Right.
on. That's the thing that I don't like. And
So trolls,
I feel,
basically.
yeah, exactly. I feel like I don't like it, but what can I do about it? Like I every good thing has some like bad points in it. So anything can be perfect. So I won't say that I like the trolls or whatever, but just because I like this social media so much, I'm like ready to accept the reality that there's some trolls and etc. about Twitch. It doesn't mean that I like it,
Right.
but to accept the fact that I'm gonna have to deal with those kind of situation, and it's okay. We take care of it, and like
And we move
we move
on.
on, and we have some fun, and that's all right, and we have a good day.
So how long exactly have you been streaming? When did you start?
Okay. I did a test stream, I think around this December 26th of 2019. I did it to just like a test stream. Like
Boxing Day?
I just wanted to figure out like if it would be worth to stream like from my PS4. So I only had like my friend in chat, and we were trying to figure out the audio because I didn't know how this thing worked with like the PS4.
Right.
So it's officially like my first stream, but it was like a test, and then it's okay. But I think that my first stream was somewhere during the first week of January. I was able to get like all my stuff, my mic, my webcam, and everything. I didn't have a capture card. And I think that my first like real stream was actually a Stardew Valley stream.
Oh, was it?
And so I played Stardew Valley, and then it was really, really complicated because at first I wanted to stream like my art. I wanted like to do art on stream, but it was really, really complicated because I figured that I wouldn't be able to do it properly without a capture card. So what I was doing is that I was drawing on my Windows Surface, and then I had a remote desktop software installed both on my computer, on my tower, and over my Surface, and I was like remote controlling streaming from my Surface. It was so complicated. When I go back to those streams, the quality is like hideous. And then it didn't take long before I had a capture card because I figured that not only I will be able to stream like from my Switch and etc., but I will also be able to stream better quality other streams. So yeah, and I think I got it like 1 month later. But I first started just playing like Stardew Valley and trying to figure out how to stream art in general. It wasn't like really, really, really good, but I guess that even though it wasn't like very good streams, people were interested and they keep hanging out and
Yeah. Gigi says I hear you because currently she's got a camera and she's got her Switch and that's all she has. There's no capture cards or whatever. But you do what you do what you have to do what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Hey Gigi, yeah, you hear me. But yeah, I didn't really have like the good equipment, so um yeah, but I managed to find some fun, and that's how I kind of like, you know, the meme with like the person with like the big brain, and then the brain goes like,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, at this point, when I got my capture card and I realized that people like still hang out with me even though I didn't have like the proper equipment, I realized that yeah, Twitch is a really big PR game. If you don't have the personality to be on Twitch, it's just not gonna like work out well for you. So I was like, oh, even though I didn't have the great equipment, people still hang out because I guess they like me and there's something interesting about me that I don't know. Uh, Feel free to tell me, chat, what is interesting about me. But yeah, that's how I came across streaming and like keep going on and yeah.
Well, you are wonderful, which is why everybody is drawn to you.
Oh, thank you. You're
Uh,
too kind.
no. Who are some of your favorite streamers to watch?
Mm, too many of them.
Too many of them?
Um,
Well,
yeah.
start listing them off.
Um, okay. Can I say like my inspirations
Yeah, go for
for
it.
my streams? Okay, I'm gonna switch a question a little bit. So, um, one of my first inspiration was um, Glamour Fairy. The reason why she inspires me so much is I feel like we didn't really start off the same, but I remember that one day she really wanted to play New Leaf, so what did she did? She just like pulled a webcam and she was like filming her 3DS, and I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. Why didn't I thought about it? And I just like the fact that she's being herself and she's like really, really, really down to earth. Like she doesn't hide her personality. She keeps being herself, and I really appreciate that about her. So she kind of inspired me of like, embrace who you are and like, put some salt over the trolls. We're gonna have a good time even though they are here, and like don't bother too much about it. And then the other person who really inspired me is Hylian Distant Josh. He inspired me so much because um, he taught me of like, he was a cook before, and he really wanted to start streaming, and he keep pushing forward to his streams, and here he is like 11 months later after starting streaming. He is a partner streamer. So it really inspired me to like keep pushing and like just like believe in myself and believe in my dream and like keep working hard. And the third person will be Simply Press Start Crystal. Like I said, um I when I first discovered her stream, I was like in a very, very bad place. And then she was like just so kind and like so friendly, and she's always here like to listen to me. And when you're like, okay, real talk now. When you meet someone and then you're talking and then you're like, oh, you like that stuff. And they're like, yeah, I like that stuff. And do you like this stuff? And you're like, I love it too. And then it just like keep going on and on and on. And like, I feel like Crystal is somewhat like a very long distance friend that I never really met. And then we keep talking, and she became like one of my good buddy on on Twitch. And then there's Officer Jennifer that I also met because of Twitch. And we are both French Canadian. And like I said with Crystal, it's kind of funny when this kind of stuff happened, but this kind of stuff happened also with Officer Jennifer. And we figure out that we even have some friends in common. Like, I know some of her in real life friends in my life, like I came across with.
Oh, really?
And at some point, I was like living in the same town of like one of her good friends. So yeah, and she really inspired me because, like I said, um, she's French Canadian also, and when you are not a like when your first language is not English, it takes like a lot of guts to put yourself out there. And I just love that she keeps pushing and pushing, and she's kind of my inspiration to keep pushing, even though like some days I'm like, oh my god, I really have like a big anxiety day, and I'm like, what if I don't pronounce a word correctly, or like people don't understand me or whatever. And Jenny is like here inside of my head, be like, on s'en calisse, tabarnak, and like keep going on and on. We don't care, fuck them, and like put yourself out there, stream in English, and then like you're gonna have a ton of fun. And yeah, so those are like my top four.
Well, very nice group to be in. I've actually interviewed 3 out of the 4 of them already on the podcast. So quick plug, if you haven't seen those and you want to, I'll put a link below. So yeah, we did interview Simply Press Start, Hyrule Gaming Group, and last month was Glamour Fairy, and then Officer Jennifer's on my list because you suggested her. So by the way, anybody in chat, if there's anybody you want to see that hasn't been on the podcast before, feel free to put in suggestions, and I'll do what I can to get them on. So, all right. What are some goals and aspirations you have for your channel? Are you looking for a partner? Are you looking to just keep it casual? What do you want to do?
All right. So I took a week off this week because I wanted to figure myself out, and my goal was to take a decision before the podcast. And my decision was that I have this big comic project going on right now, and because of the pandemic and the quarantine and stuff, and because all the book industry wasn't like very clear, I focus on Twitch, I focus on like commissions and stuff. But I feel like I put this project too much on pause, and I really need to work on it. So I took the decision that for the next couple of weeks, I'll only be streaming like for maybe once or twice a week instead. It's gonna be like a very sketchy time, but I feel like I need this little break of Twitch to 100% like focus on my comic. Because the thing is, when you are like an artist and you have like a big project like that going on, and I can't show it on stream because it's gonna be published and everything. And the thing with Twitch is that you need to be like 100% focused on it and keep going and keep pushing, And then it's all bit the same thing with like working on any kind of art project. You need to be 100% focused. And because I was trying to do both of them at the same time, I I realized I couldn't do both of them. And because I have like a deadline, um, yeah, I need to focus on my comic for now. And um, like I said, for me, Twitch is just like a place to have fun. So I don't aim for like partnership. I don't aim for any kind of specific goals. Um, but I came across the fact that I got a Twitch paycheck for like the whole quarantine time. And then I figured that I would be really happy if Twitch is my part-time job. So I only set like myself a reasonable like sub goal, and that's pretty much how what I focus on to right now. Um, so yeah, but for the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna like tone down a little bit the streaming, so I'll be able to finish my comic in time, and then after that we can do the party and like go back on Twitch and have a bunch of fun.
All right. So that being said, I don't know how much you can talk about the comic. So is this a comic of your creation, or are you just doing the art for someone's comic?
Yes, so it is 100% me. Um,
Writing
it's not
included?
that I don't. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like I wrote everything, I'm drawing everything. Um, yeah, I'm doing everything basically. And it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's mostly because I want to keep it as a surprise. Like I want people to be surprised about it. But what I can say though is that I started to it didn't start as a comic. It started like as a personal journal. And then I showed it off to someone, which was one of my teacher, who also happens to have um, who also happens to be an editor for like comic books and stuff. So I show it to him, and I was like, "Do you think there's something interesting in that? Like, can I make something out of it?" And he's like, "Yes, and you're gonna do it for me." So we started like a project around those little journals that I did, and I was making those journals to actually show it to my doctor because it was the first time that I was taking medication for my depression and my anxiety. So yeah, expect that from this comic. I am actually writing in French right now, but I made a point that I want to release it as well in English because I made a community over Twitch, and it wouldn't hurt me at all to release a comic book in like different language.
Right.
That's how it works. But because I have like a big community and I have some fans and like followers who are only English speakers, I made a point that I also want to have like an English release. Don't know when it will be though, because the board is kind of messed up right now, but that's gonna be coming for sure.
Okay. April had a good question. So is this going to be an electronically released comic, or is it going to have a physical copy too?
All physical, baby. Physical.
All right. Well, then if you don't have the option in your stream to buy your comic and get it signed by you, then I'm going to be upset.
I'll probably like have like some physical copies like with me when it's gonna be like done, and I'll put it like on my online store so you guys will be able to get it. Maybe I can do like a little bit of like a preview of the comic book, but like in a webcomic style, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just so a preview so people will be interested. But
April says, I'll learn
yeah,
French
it's
just to
gonna be
read it.
physical. I'm
Well,
sorry?
April says, I'll learn French just to read it.
Oh, April, gosh darn
So
it.
there's a lot of people here who are very interested in that. So definitely keep us noted, and you're going to have at least a lot of people here who want to take a look and support you.
Yeah, don't worry. You guys will be in the know. You will know all about it.
And then maybe a little while after its release, you can do like a dramatic reading of it, like on a stream. Like after you've had sales for a while, then you can just.
Oh, I won't be able to do that.
You won't be able to do that.
No, no, no. I'm way too emotional to do this kind of stuff.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
So we talked about Twitch. You also have a YouTube channel. What do you put
I
on?
do.
What do you do on there? And are you looking to grow on there as well, or is this just kind of a casual side thing?
I at first I wanted like to put some content out there and everything, but like I said with the comic, I put it on the side. But honestly, I am not really into YouTube. I tried YouTube mostly because um I wanted to like grow my Twitch channel a little bit and I didn't know how to make it and I watched a bunch of tutorials and all of them were saying, "Why don't you have a YouTube channel?" And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make one." So for now, what I'm like posting on there is little like cutted streams that I did of my Nuzlocke playthrough. So if you missed that, feel free to go over the YouTube channel to watch like all the little episodes and like segments of like the whole playthrough. Um, but for now, I don't really put out content out there because I'm busy on like other stuff. And maybe I'll find like a passion or like I'll find like a video subject or anything that will be like YouTube worthy. But so far, I tried like bullet journaling, I tried comic tutorial, uh, but yeah, but I feel like my YouTube channel, the way that I wanted it to be, um, I want it to be like a place for people over YouTube to jump over the Twitch channel. I
Right.
prefer to make content for Twitch than making content for YouTube, if it makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going with it right now. Just like a place where I can post my VODs and
All right. So now to the more streamer specific questions. So when did your interest in art start for you? Like drawing and like, as it as just as long as you can remember, did you hit a point when you were 7 and you saw somebody draw something, you're like, oh, I want to do that? Like, how do?
Mm, my whole life. Um, I would say I had some language barrier when I was younger. I was diagnosed with autism and other like language trouble, I should say. And for me, my first way to communicate with people was with drawing. So as long as I remember, as long as I was able to hold a pen or a crayon or whatever, I would like mostly express myself with drawing as like, cheesy as it sounds from like every artist. I know, but it really is like if I didn't felt well, if I was angry, if I was happy, people would know because of the subjects of my drawing, because of the colors that I was choosing and everything. So, and I always like prefer to communicate with people by like if I appreciate them, I would like do a little drawing of them and I would give it to them. That's how I made friends most of the time. So I didn't really like talking. I was really, really shy. And yeah, so and that's also the reason why I don't believe that. Okay, it's gonna sound like very negative, but hear me, chat. That's the reason why I don't think that I have talent. I feel like I have um like drawing easy for me. Maybe I was like gifted with some talent. But for me, because I drew for my whole life, I don't feel like I have a talent. I just like work hard for all those years. If you ask me for how many years I've been drawing, I would say like maybe 20 years old because maybe I started to hold a pen starting like 4 years old. I don't know. I'm 24. So, um I've been drawing my whole life. And when you are doing the same thing over and over again for like more than 20 years, I feel like it's more hard work than talent, more than anything. But I do feel like I have like some, you know, I guess I do have some kind of talent. but it was mostly driven from my passion for drawing and art in
and the
general.
hard work turns into talent, though.
Yeah, kind of.
It
Kind of.
turns into a skill. So I mean, most people can't
Yeah.
draw at your level to begin with, but you've built up to it. So you do have a talent. You just, like you said, you've worked hard at it.
Yeah, exactly. I work hard. I do believe that, I have some kind of like gift that I I learn how to draw more easier than some people. That's for sure. I express myself a little bit better than some people at drawings. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I feel like it's more that I just been drawing for all this time. So when people ask me, I want to improve my skill, what should I do? I feel
Practice.
like the reasoning practice makes perfect is like the best way to think about life in general. And in like if you want to get better at art, at drawing, at video games, practice makes perfect. Just like keep doing it. Start by taking a pen and draw. If you don't like it, I didn't like my first drawings. I didn't like my first comics, but it didn't like forcing me to stop. It just forced me to keep pushing. So keep pushing. Practice makes perfect. You're gonna you're
Absolutely.
gonna get into it.
So during some of your streams recently, you had channel points to open Pokemon cards. Do you regularly collect and open cards, or was that just for a special event?
I've been collecting cards for a very, very long time. You know the little sleeves when you open the
Yeah,
cards?
yeah.
I keep those. And I still have the little packaging of the first Pokemon cards I ever opened. That's a really weird collection. I know. Don't judge me,
No,
all
I'm
right?
not judging. I
But
know people who buy
but
those things.
but like I like collecting stuff in general. So I collect Pokemon cards, but I like collecting the sleeves too, like the little package.
Right.
So I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I started opening Pokemon cards because it was the Pokemon Week um, earlier, like because of like the release of the new DLC um, in for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I was
Mm.
like, oh, it's kind of like a Pokemon Week. So you know what? I'm just gonna open packs just for fun because I saw other streamers doing it. And then for my birthday stream, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna open packs, and then it just blew up.
So,
And I had to stop the redemption because I was like, you know what? That's a lot of money to
yeah.
spend on. So I'm just gonna keep it for like special events like that. If there is like anything related to Pokemon, or if it's my birthday or a party, we don't know. But I really like doing this stuff. It's really, really cool and fun.
Yeah.
And I guess that you inspire me to do it too, because I know that you're doing it, and that you are opening cards and you put your videos on YouTube. And I watch those, and it's so exciting because I'm like, what is he gonna get? And yeah, I like it.
What am I gonna get? I'm gonna get a Charizard. Is what I'm gonna get. Bam.
The Charizard.
Uh,
Oh, you got it for real?
yeah. The you said you watched the videos. Yeah. It was my fourth pack of the Darkness Ablaze. I got the VMAX Charizard.
Okay, okay. I didn't catch up with those, to
I'm
be
I'm
honest.
just
But I watched when you were opening the Eden Fates.
okay. Gotcha.
Because I want to see the shiny.
No, I have not gotten that one, and I'm kind of salty about it. When I can get this one
Yeah.
in four packs, and I've opened dozens of the other
Oh,
ones.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but congrats for this one.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, I'm trying to not spend too much money on it because
Same here. It's
that's a little bit like gambling, you know? It's exciting. What you gonna get, we don't know, but maybe in the other pack that you're gonna buy, you're gonna get it, you know?
absolutely. So now I'm curious. So you said you keep the pack art from the packs you open. So and you still have the first one. What was the first one? What set was the first one from?
Can I go get him really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Wait.
And we're back, and Rosie is back with every Pokemon card
Okay.
imaginable.
Alright, I got everything. Hang on, I don't have my headphones on, so I don't hear anything you are saying, but...
Oh, and there she goes.
Because my cats are being butts today, again, as usual. And
As cats are.
as cute as they are making a mess. Alright, so I have this really old shoebox that I kept, and if I remember correctly, it's a whole mess in here. But when I say I keep all of them and like don't judge me, that's what I meant by that. I even have like those really weird cards that came with like Pokemon Stadium. I had to buy a ton of Yo-Guards to get those cards.
You might need to show me some of those, because some of those are probably worth a lot of money.
Oh, I'm not selling them.
You're not selling them? So if you have a card worth $10,000, you're not going to sell it?
I do have a debt to pay. Alright, I found the first, and I think this one is actually the really first. So it's called X Legend Maker, like this.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna close
the EX
this
Legend
so you guys can see it a little bit better. But yeah, that's the one.
Very nice.
It has an Arcanine on it. Maybe I have a date. No, I ripped it off. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe I can find another one, because I remember that I had another one of like this collection. Maybe it's a whole mess. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean for you to have to go through all this. I was just, I thought you might know offhand.
Everything. You got me all excited. We're talking about Pokemon cards. Oh my god. I never had a friend who were like playing Pokemon cards with me, so I really have like fun memories with them. Like, oh my god, I don't know how to play this game, but
I've got my
beautiful
Hidden Fates binder right here.
You really... I do have binders too, I think. Hang on. Okay, we just fangirling over cards.
Okay. What?
Don't mind it, chat. I have this one. It's not Hidden Fates, but it's like the new Sword and Shield, and I thought it was pretty.
Yeah, it's the same style as mine, but it's the new set.
Yeah, exactly. I also have this box with like Mew and Pikachu, and I have this one with like Mewtwo.
Orangey.
I have a bunch of Pokemon.
Orangey Boom, if you do have old cards in your attic, pull them out. They might be worth something.
Okay. Give me a sec. I know that I have very, very old, like from the basic set.
Did you know that if you got a PSA 10 Charizard First Edition from the original base set, it's $50,000?
Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, I don't like... I didn't took care of my cards when I was younger that much, so...
I didn't think we were gonna dive into Pokemon that steep.
Yeah, I have this very old Oddish.
Are they in French?
I also have a Vulpix. But they are all from like the basic set.
Are they French or they English?
They're English. Most of the time, when stuff got released, like video games wise, I never got it in French, and that is really interesting because it hasn't been long since stuff started to release in French here in Canada, mostly because there wasn't like enough laws, if it makes sense, to have like stuff in French and etc. And they pull up like another law, and then it made the developers of video games to offer more stuff in French, at least like in Quebec where I live. And then I remember the day. I think it was when I was getting my Pokemon Earth Gold copy back in the day. The clerk asked me, "Do you want the game in French or in English?" And I was like, "English? What? I have to choose." And then I decided to stick with English version because I am not learning 400 names
In French.
in French. And they're pretty idiots too. I don't like them. They're very, very literal. For example, grammar. Grammar in French is ton mauve, which is translated by pile of snot, which is kind of disgusting. But yeah, so I stuck with English, and I actually learned English by playing video games. So for me, it's weird to play a video game in French. And I remember when I got my Wii, I got Super Mario Galaxy a little bit later, and then my Wii was set in French, uh, but I will buy like my copies of the games in English, so everything was fine. But then something was special actually with Super Mario Galaxy. If your console was in a certain language, the language of the game will be in the language of your console, if it makes sense. So I started to play Mario in French, and interestingly, they made a French Canadian dub if you stated your Wii to be like in Canada and the main language should be French. And then they put up like a bunch of slangs and kind of bad words for Mario to say, and it was like so disturbing.
Oh no.
Yeah, like they didn't know that it was like a cursing, almost. It wasn't like the direct word, but still, it was like too too weird to hear, or like to read, I should say, a toad say tabarnouche, which is the friendlier version of tabarnak, which is like one of the biggest, baddest curse in French. So you're like, what is that? So I always have this weird relationship with like buying stuff in French for this reason. Some people gave me cards in French because they didn't know and everything. So I do have some French cards, but I don't showcase them because I don't like them.
You should totally do a stream showing off all your cards at one time.
Oh,
That would
my
be
God, I
fun.
should do that.
You should.
I should do that because I know that some people would like um put them um their binders by orders of like collection. So for example, if you have like the whole set of like Legend Maker, you will make a binder
Right.
only for this collection. But I don't do that. I have too many cards to remember from which pack it was from and whatever. So I decided to put them in Pokédex order.
Makes sense.
So it would be interesting because I could showcase like different version of like Vulpix, different version of Oddish and everything. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be interesting.
Yeah, I would be there for sure. At the very least, if I can't catch it live, watch the VOD, or you can put it on YouTube or something.
Yeah, for sure. I just like gonna take a sticky note and like put it in my idea binder because I have a binder for everything. I have a journal for everything. So yeah, oh my God, that is actually so clever. Thank you so much, Tidus.
You're welcome.
You should do it too. I would watch yours so much.
I don't have a ton is the problem. Like because I didn't start collecting again until after Hidden Fates, and even then, because of the money issue, if I want to open packs, I have to sell cards to buy more packs. So a lot of the stuff I've either sold or whatnot. So it's kind of like it's a rotating door. I do have a decent amount, but because I've been selling recently, I have a lot of stuff to open, and I'm probably doing that tomorrow night. So.
But I guess that you have like some favorites that you're keeping in a binder or something.
Yeah, I do. I have the one Hidden Fates binder, and then I have a second binder for the other hollows and rares and special things.
You can check it those. I would watch. I would like watch this.
I think I will do a video just showing what I have, but we'll see when that comes along.
You should do it too. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Going back on track. That was a long detour in the
Yes, I'm
world of
so
Pokemon cards.
sorry. I'm so
No,
off
we're
track.
fine. That's the whole point. Is an ongoing discussion. So the last question I have for you is that you have your little kitty cats. I
Yes.
don't remember their names, but so what pets do you all have, and then how do you integrate them into your stream?
Like I said, my cats are butthead. Um, so they pretty much like burst into my door, and I have to deal with them. And because my first cat, Kero, was he just likes to have attention when he wants to have attention. So what he would used to do is that he would jump into my desk and just like sit in front of my monitor and look at me until like I pet him and I take care of him and I do give him what he wants. So I started to train my cat Kero as if he comes into my office and he's being a good boy, I have some cat treats next to me right here. So I give him cat treats when he's a good boy. And then when I started streaming, people like my cats, and I completely understand them. And and so I started this cat treat redemption. And then every time my cat comes in and he doesn't understand a word I'm saying because I'm used to talk to him in French. But if he comes in and he understands that I'm talking to someone that is not physically here, he knows that I'm gonna give him cat treats because people in chat want to give him cat treats. And then I got my new kitty, Sunny. I didn't like train her to that right now because we are focusing on just keeping her to being a normal cat because this cat is so freaking crazy. We can play with her for like hours and hours and she doesn't get tired, honestly. And when she does, she just comes in and she crashes. She's exhausted and she sleeps. Just to give you a brief idea. So my cat Kero, which is like the oldest, he's 10 years old, he's a black kitty. He's the one that is like coming more often during the streams. And when we got Sunny, at first I was keeping her in my office so I can like take care of her and just so the integration with my other cat goes well. And she was sick a little bit for a little bit, um, and yeah, so took care of her. And now she's not on stream as she used to be, but yeah, I didn't choose to integrate my cats into my stream. They just like burst in, and they're like, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah, I understand. The kitty treats is the biggest channel point redemption I have, and they are also trained to where if I'm sitting in this chair, if you look right, where is he? There he is. He's just waiting for treats. He's waiting for somebody to summon the kitties.
No. What are you waiting for? Give him some treats.
Later.
Later, okay.
All right.
You're a good daddy cat because I can't resist those eyes. They're like, but I'm a good person. I deserve that, and I'm like, oh yes, you deserve it, and I give them a bunch.
All right. So that's all the questions. So Rosie, where can people find you in all your social medias?
All right. So, you you can find me on twitch.tv/Roszipou if you want to catch up on my streams. Um, I'm gonna make a point later that in my panels, I'm also gonna leave a link for my Discord server because I'm gonna be a little bit more active on that because, like I said, I'll only be streaming for like once or twice a week until my comic is done. Um, I also have a Instagram. If you guys want to see my art, this is the account of my Instagram. But if you are into more into like Twitter and all that kind of stuff, my tag is Roszipou, just like this. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do be
Oh, and you
careful.
also,
Go ahead. You also what?
mm,
You were
excuse me?
you were saying you were. I cut you off. What are you going to say?
I was about to say you just posted a link in chat with like my Twitch and my YouTube channel as
Yeah,
well.
yes, I did. I was going to say
Yes.
just be careful putting your Discord thing in a panel where people can get to it, because I've done that before and people came in and trolled and started posting
Oh
pictures.
yeah, that might not be a good idea when I think about
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
for sure,
For
if
the
you
most
want
part, you'd be
to,
okay, but you just be aware that you could get some trolls.
yeah, of course, yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm being like a little bit all over the place for my streams, but I really need to focus on this comic, and I hope you guys understand. But if you happen to catch up in my streams, you're more than welcome to the community. And then, yeah. Oh yeah, the 10-minute troll thing um can be also a good idea altogether
Oh, I didn't know
for
about that. I might have to look into
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I can look into that. Either way, um, if you want to catch up with me for sure, feel free to follow my Twitter. Um, I'm really active. I post some memes sometimes. I am hip and I'm cool, fresh, whatever you want to call it. I think. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think.
All right.
Yes, all the memes.
So we will move on to. So I labeled it as hobbies and French Canada. So you weren't quite sure where to narrow things down. So we're going to talk about one of the questions I usually ask are what are some of your hobbies outside of gaming. But since that was kind of thrown in here, I figured we'd just throw it all here. So some of the things you had mentioned were K-pop, comics, and some foods up there. So what in particular would you want to start with?
Um, Food, I guess.
Okay,
It's a good topic subject, I guess, and that everyone can relate to.
that's true. But no poutine. Ugh.
Yeah. Poutine. So poutine is the God's meal.
The
It's
God's meal.
basically French fries with gravy and cheese curds, and it also happens to be Quebec national meal. It's kind of like a fast food thing. I know it sounds disgusting, but hear me out. Hear me out. You need a good balance. Everything with balance is good.
I,
That's what
I just don't like
I
gravy,
believe.
so that's where it kills it for me.
Yeah, but American gravy is not the same thing as poutine gravy. That's the thing.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
You need the perfect balance.
So,
And it's not like a soup of gravy with like fries and cheese in it. That's not it. It's just like, a little sploosh of the perfect amount of gravy.
all right. So, how about we narrow this down to if somebody goes to French Canada, what food should they be looking to get to try?
I guess it depends where they go because see as Quebec as like a whole state. So if they go to Montreal, which is it's not like the capital of Quebec, but if you go there, um, I can't count how many poutine restaurant there is in Montreal, but I would say that if you just go to French Canada, just like try to taste every poutine that you can in every gosh darn restaurant because everyone has their own recipe. And that's the magic of poutine. I'm really passionate about
So,
meal.
do they have poutine crawls then, kind of like pub crawls, where you just go around at night and do they have like maybe there's a poutine tour where you can just like go around touring?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Um, 100%. There's this poutine festival also where, of course, it's been canceled because of, you
Right.
know, everything. But in Drummondville, there's this poutine festival where different restaurants fight for the best poutine of the year, and there's like music shows, you're outside and everything. It's really big in Quebec, I should say.
All right. Any other foods you can think of, or is it just pretty much that?
Mm, that's really pretty much that. Yeah. I can't think of like any other French Canadian meal because yeah, I feel like most of them it's not because of like the recipe, it's mostly because of like the names. So for example, the shepherd pie here it's called pâté chinois, which is Chinese meat pie, if I should say, because it was given to people who was working at making the big Canadian Trailway, and they were giving this meal every single day, and most of them were Asians.
Hmm.
So if that's them, and that's why it's called Chinese meat pie, but it doesn't really make any sense, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's not that we have like specific like recipes that is like very very French Canadian, because it's basically like the name that has been changed. Um, I don't remember what it's called, but Josh was talking about a dessert that he likes to eat, but we have a version of this dessert too with maple syrup instead. Um,
That's very
and
Canadian.
it's called yeah, very Canadian, of course. And it's called Pet de Sar, which can be translated to sister's fart.
What? That doesn't sound appealing.
No, it does not, but it's really, really, really good. It's kind of like a cinnamon bun, but instead it's with maple syrup and it's baked into the oven, so it can have like a little crispy tone to it. Pet de Sar, yes, Burji! Burji knows the Pet de Sar. And I guess we also have pudding chômeur, which is basically kind of like a sponge cake marinated in maple syrup. And oh, someone was talking about this in Crystal Stream. Red, do you remember? Is it like monkey bread? What was that again? Someone was saying that they were eating monkey bread and or something
There,
in
monkey
those.
bread is a thing because my
Oh,
wife makes a garlic monkey bread where it's like you
a
have a little
garlic.
and you can kind of pull it apart like a monkey would eat it, which is why I think it's called monkey bread.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this person said that, and when I Google it, it really looked like a pudding chômeur, which is which can be translated to um unemployed pudding. Like people who doesn't have a job eats this pudding. That is the literal translation for it. All the words doesn't make any sense for those kinds of meal, but they are also good. They are either made of very good fast food thing or a lot of maple syrup. you it rings a bell, right, Helen? I don't remember what it was, but it was something like monkey bread or something. We have the strangest origin stories for our dishes. Exactly. It's mostly like the stories that fascinate me more than the meal, but yeah, poutine, man. If you never have a poutine, make one. It's so easy.
All right, so we'll move on to K-pop. So I don't really know. I know what K-pop is to an extent, but what for somebody who doesn't know anything about K-pop, what do they need to know?
It's basically just like pop that is released in mostly South Korea. And the reason why it's such like a thing, it's mostly because um back in the days, like in the US and in the UK, you had like boys band and girls band and everything, and they keep it real. And if you like, I guess, pop sounds and like older culture sounds, that is really, really interesting. And there's like, I guess everyone knows about BTS because they're so big right now and everything. Um, I guess it's a kind of vibe. Like it's pop music with Korean influence culture sounds in it, if it makes sense. And I really like this band for the really very very longest time. And they were having kind of like a girl crush concept, so very badass female, you know, kind of like, yeah, they were badass, and I really looked forward to it. And they were called 2NE1, and I really like this band, and I really like K-pop in general. And in my streams, every time someone gives biddies or any kind of donations, there is like this K-pop alert, and we all dance and party while there's this alert. And I guess that Tidus, you know this alert very well, because you always put 10 biddies every time you come in,
Yes, and you
or
get your
at least
little
when you
ooh la
came, and I
la.
really really appreciate it. And you hear this music a lot, so
Yes,
it's
yes,
kind
I
of
do.
funny. So when you said that it was the 21st episode of your podcast, I was like, it has to be. It has to be.
All
So
right.
yeah, I'm really passionate about music in general, and I'm really into K-pop right now, but I also like every type of music genres. I like 80s and 90s pop, rock as well, heavy metal. I really listen to a bunch of different stuff. And if I was able to write music or sing or whatever, I feel like music would be like something that I would like to do in my life. But unfortunately, I can only draw stuff. I can do
Hey,
music.
you never know. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day,
Maybe they'll
but
make an anime out of your comic and
I
you'll be
just
able to
have
write
the,
the opening theme.
yeah, but I have the worst rhythm in my whole life. I can't even do like the this thing, when you pat your head and you touch your stomach at the same time. I can't do that. I don't have rhythm.
Well, it's like the drawing practice.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So what about comics?
Comics. All right. So I didn't really like, the typical comics. I didn't like Marvel. I didn't like DC. I didn't like Tintin. I didn't like Spirou or Asterix and Obelix. But I was really into mangas though, and that passion for this genres of comic really make myself emerge into this medium. And to the point that when I was like in my public college, I was like just in a general art program. I didn't know where to go into college. And then my teachers were like, well, maybe you can try to go to this university. They have an undergraduate in comic art. And I was like, oh, I can try that. And when I got into it, even though I only had like this, um, you know, a version of like the perfect comic in my head, which was mangas. Um, I really grew a big passion of for comics and everything. And as you can see in my bookshelf right now, we have a lot of books. We have some plushies of under that, but we have a lot of books. And the row that we can see on screen right now, that's only French Canadian comics or Canadian comics in general. And yeah, I'm really passionate about reading and writing comics, and I really like it. I feel like it combines two of my passions, which is writing stories and drawing stuff, and then it's like, whoa, I can do both.
Yeah. So why not?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, anything
Yeah,
else you wanted to add?
not really.
Okay. So
Did I said everything?
I think so.
I think. Yeah.
All right. So we will move on to gaming news. So I don't know if you looked up anything. I forgot to. I think I forgot to ask you to look up anything. But I got a list of new stuff that's been over the last month or so. So if there's anything you have any opinions about or want to discuss, you just stop me as we go. So first thing is a sad thing for those who know. Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther in the Marvel movies. Died on August 28th from colon cancer. Nobody knew about it. He kept it a secret from everybody and fought through it. So R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Mulan and Bill and Ted 3 have been released digitally, which have been kind of like the first really big movies to do that. Do you have any interest in seeing Mulan? I know a lot of people are either like seem to have no interest at all or really want to see it.
About it, but I guess that I should like look into it because I don't really know about it. Like I know by name, but I was not really like interested into it. But I understand why it's a big deal, and I'm just like,
Well, it's yeah.
there's new fishes and critters in Animal Crossing. How about that? And I guess that I guess I was a little bit interested into Mulan, but the whole, you know, Disney is what it is, right? I don't really have a strong opinion about it, mostly because it sucks, man. And as much as I love Disney because of their, their influences into animation and all that kind of stuff, it just sucks. And I'm not surprised by their decision of like, oh, you need to pay like
$30. I'm pretty sure
$30 to see this movie, but if you see it on YouTube, you can watch it for just like what, $3, $10? I don't remember, but
hey, at the
I'm
very
not
least,
surprised.
3 months.
Disney.
Wait 3 months, and they've confirmed that in 3 months it'll be free on Disney Plus. So if you can wait that long, save the $30.
And also, there's a thing. I was looking at Disney Plus revenues. So revenues, everything that goes into Disney's pockets, right?
Right.
They made more than what the movie cost.
Oh, I'm sure.
So the whole thing about, oh yeah, but they need to like make a profit out of it. That's not working for me. And if you know a little bit about like how this industry works, you don't do anything if you don't have a contract and if you don't have your paycheck at first. So most of the time those people were paid beforehand, before starting into the project, and what there's left will be like royalties. So every year they're gonna have like a certain amount of money depending on like the profits and everything. So this whole discussion about, oh yeah, but they need to blah 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 because they lost a lot of money because of COVID. I'm sorry, but I'm just like not into it. I don't really have a strong opinion because you can just like do a quick search on Google what is like the revenues of Disney Plus and what Mulan cost, and you can't just make the link by yourself. And it's really disappointing over Disney, but at this point I'm not even surprised that they were doing it. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna give it a chance when it's gonna release like for free,
right?
After some time, and then yeah. So I heard about it. It's okay. I don't really have a strong opinion. I said my opinion otherwise, but that's what I think about Disney, unfortunately. But I really do have strong memories with like OG Disney's movies and everything, and I know how Disney is important. But Disney really likes money too, and
of course.
I'm just gonna take a sip.
All right, so some news that actually I didn't know until I looked this up. So apparently Witcher 3 and Dead by Daylight are going to be on the next gen. They're going to be moved to next gen, and they will be free upgrades for those who own them already. So if you already have Witcher 3 or Dead by Daylight digitally, I assume it's digital only. If you have a PS5 or Xbox Series X, then you get them for free. So that's nice.
Pretty cool.
PlayStation Plus this month, Street Fighter V and PUBG are the free games. Nothing too exciting for me, but everybody likes their own stuff.
I don't have this PlayStation Plus thing. Is it worthy?
Is it what?
Or is it worthy to have PlayStation Plus?
$40?
No, but like, is it worth?
Oh, is it worth it? I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, you can't play online games without it. So I mean, if you play online games, that's one thing. But for the free games, I think for the most part it is. I mean, a lot of months there's not going to be, there might not be anything you, but like I'd say at least 3 or 4 months out of the year, you'll probably get something that you wouldn't have played otherwise. That is just a surprise. Plus, you can get PlayStation Plus on a deal. I like it's $60 or $70 now for a year to do it, but I can usually get it for $30. Getting it from a different place later, you can just like cdkeys.com. It'll be like 29.95 if you grab it right now. So I renew at that point.
Oh, I'm gonna look into it because me and my husband were hesitant to get this whole thing, but we were like, yeah, but we pay this amount of money for a year, but what happens if it's like not that good games or we're not really interested in those games? And like not gonna lie, I got my PlayStation 4 like last year and I got it because I really wanted to play Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, and that's pretty much it. So that's why I got a PS4. So, and my husband is really interested in those games, but we didn't know if it was like worth it.
I think it's
It.
worth it, but I've had it. I've had PS Plus since it started,
Oh, okay, I see. I see.
I've got way too many games downloaded right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Uh,
WB had their own showcase for movies and game stuff. I'm just going to do the game stuff. So they announced two games actually. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which is being made by Rocksteady, who did the Batman Arkham games, and then Gotham Knights, which is being made by WB Montreal, and is going to star. The supposed story is that Batman is dead, and that Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood or Nightwing, one of them, you play as any of the three characters, and you go through this open world. The interesting thing to that me is they've confirmed that Gotham Knights, although it's the most like the Arkham games, is not tied to the story of the Arkham games. But Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is part of that universe. So it's really weird. But the trailer for Suicide Squad was actually pretty amazing.
that is really interesting.
Yeah, I assume the thought is because Rocksteady did the Arkham games, so they're staying in their universe. So and since WB is doing their own thing, they're keeping it out. But it's just it's a weird decision in my opinion.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
And then finally, Mario 35th anniversary direct we had the other day. There's a couple of announcements. We had Mario 3D World port with an addition of Bowser's Fury, whatever that's going to be. The big one, Mario 3D All Stars, which includes Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Kind of disappointed there's not Galaxy 2 because that's the only one I never beat. But what you gonna do? Mario Kart. I don't know what you think about that one that they showed. The Mario Kart Live.
That was, not gonna lie, heartbreaking.
You saw Mario Kart on the
I
screen,
thought
and then
we
you.
would get Mario Kart 9, and then I'm like, wait, there's a toy, and then I was like, wait, no.
There's these little remote
Oh
control
no.
cars. For anybody who hasn't
Oh
seen it,
no. But
there's
honestly, it's looking freaking cool. It's a very, very freaking cool thing.
yeah,
I
like
love it.
if I was like a
But even,
kid, that would have been like, oh my god.
yeah, but even for an adult, I think it's really, really exciting. But do I want a toy or do I want Mario Kart 9?
And then you had they announced some crossover stuff. Animal Crossing is going to be getting Mario themed items next spring. Splatoon is going to have Mario events. Mario 35, for anybody who didn't see that, it's kind of like Tetris 99, except it's Mario, and you defeat enemies on your screen, send them to other enemies, others competitors, and the last one to win wins. It's like a battle royale with Mario, which is very strange, but could be fun. There's going to be a Mario Game and Watch little system. And then Mario All Stars, the one that was on Super Nintendo, is now available on Switch in the little virtual program that they got there. So a lot of stuff that they announced. What are you most excited for?
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, I pre-ordered Mario 3D All Stars
I did as well.
yesterday. So my copy is pre-ordered. Really really looking forward to Super Mario 64 because this is the only one that I didn't play. Um, but my husband made me realize last night that the other day he wanted to play Mario Sunshine, and I still have my GameCube disc, but I would need to clean it a little bit because there's some point that he can't do anything because the disc is like too scratched. I feel so embarrassed by that, but I was not a very careful kid back in the day, and so he was like, I'm really interested in Mario Sunshine because I really want to play it, but I can't because the disc is scratched and we don't have to like repair it anymore because this is coming out. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you could actually be able to beat it. But the thing that I like a little bit frustrated about this is that um it's a limited copy. So
Yeah, until
like
March 31st, which is weird.
yeah, why? It's so strange. Why?
Maybe to push sales, it would be my guess. Is just like, if people think it's going to be gone after this point, they're gonna buy it all up. People are gonna buy extra
Yeah.
copies so that they can sell them for twice as much online, and who knows?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's stupid because I don't think that if that ever happened in like the Nintendo history that they put up a game off the shelf like this, like they did for Mario Kart, not Mario Kart, but Mario 3D. Like it never happened. I don't know why they say it because we know that in the end they're gonna stay on the shelf, if it makes sense. I don't think that they will like really pull them out
Right.
because that wouldn't be a Nintendo thing for them to do unless like now it's gonna be a thing. But yeah, it's really strange. I understand that it's for like a limited copy because it's like the 35th anniversary, but that's strange.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what to think about it.
Nintendo does Nintendo things, which is to
Yeah,
say they do things different from the rest.
yeah,
But it works for
exactly.
them apparently.
Yeah, and I'm really interested into the Splatfest too. I don't know how to get them, but I really want the star key shape. I'm probably gonna be Team Star for that
Yeah, it's
Splatfest.
Mushroom and Star,
Either
right?
way, yeah, Mushroom versus Star. And I really want the little keychain because it's so cute.
Oh, did you see that
And
the pins that they have too?
yes, I did. I tried to get into to get the pins, but the website was broken.
Yeah, I got
Um,
all the check marks except for the music one because that one was broken.
yeah, me too. Did you try after that?
I haven't tried. I tried yesterday and it was still down. So who knows?
It was still down. Oh,
But either way, you have to wait till the game comes out because you have to put in your code to as the last like little check
oh.
mark. So you have time.
Also, maybe the website
Maybe it'll go
is.
up that day. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we'll
I
see.
guess it makes sense. It makes sense. Oh no, you guys can get the pins in the UK.
Well, that sucks. But they're limited too. So even if we do get all the checks, if we're not one of the first, however many, we don't get it. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, and I pre-ordered my copy to like get it delivered. So I won't get my code on time maybe. Get the pins.
I
And
got mine to pick up at the store, and I work that day, so I can't put my code in till like 5 p.m. that night. So I'll
oh
probably be too
no.
late too. But
Gosh darn it.
either way, that's what's been going on the
It's
last month
okay.
in gaming news. Uh,
Mm,
we will switch over to the wrap up. So at this point in time, if anybody has any other comments or questions, feel free to throw in the chat. Otherwise, I take this time to say thank you so much, Rosie, for joining me today. It was wonderful having you on. You did great. It's nice learning a lot more about you. We're very excited about that comic. You definitely need to uh, keep us in the know about that. And yeah, thank you for being
Well,
here.
thank you so much for having me. I was really, really stressed before that, and you have like this energy to make like everyone feel cozy and comfortable, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm
And
glad that's the case.
yeah, you really made me feel comfortable and like just being myself and everything. And thank you so much for inviting me. Like I said, I don't know like what's really interesting in me, but I really do appreciate that you guys take like the time to like to check out Tidus and to check out my streams. I really, really appreciate it because living in the art career is kind of difficult and just like a big, like I said, big PR game. So I really appreciate everyone's support. And yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Tidus is wonderful.
Oh, you guys are too kind. Thank you again, Rosie. Thank you, everybody here who joined us live. If you're on YouTube, thanks for getting this far in the video. And next month, we have VinnieInTheLab joining us. The month after that, we have Jesus on a Stick and Shiny Deminix. She's supposed to be joining me on a nighttime one of these. The first time I've done that to try to squeeze more people in. So look forward to that, and we'll see you next month. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.